Hi everyone, it's Tracy here from Art Fiber Stitch. I'm just looking here. I think this is around about where we left it last time. We're making something here. And we've been talking about design and we've been talking about color and adding more ideas. And here I have I'm really going to upset myself here because I have it all planned out and I think, oh yes, that looks quite nice. And then I have an idea. And my idea is, how about I grab a book and plan it as a book cover? I'm always using notebooks, so that'd be nice. So that means I may need to change my plan a bit. And the reason is, let's have a look at this here. Can you see which bit is showing? And then you look at the back and you see the other bit and you think, no, that's not right. See, that's very pretty and I would prefer it's on the front. So it's a good idea to have a bit of an idea what you want to make before you start, but I'm not like that. It's not that big a deal. I'm just going to move these two over here so that they're going to be on that front page. So we'll have the front cover, the spine, and then the back cover looking from right through to left. And I'll make sure I don't do too much on the spine so it'll go nicely around the edge of the book. And I think, it's not going to upset things too much. I'm glad I decided now. So not only do I have to keep in mind that it's, which bit is going to be the front cover and make sure I do it right, I have to leave a seam allowance. And you can see the book is only this big. So that means everything at one end I won't be actually using. So figure out whether I want it here or do I want to push it down further and get more of the white. It helps to look at the back too, because whatever I do on the front, I'll be doing on the back. So I'll be losing some of that fabric. It remains to be seen which it will be. And I've got just enough to do a seam around the front edges. And on that top bit there, well, I'll just cut that off. Now, do you remember with the initial material we had? Was that one down there? And I think I could bring a bit more of that back in because if I cut some of it off down the bottom here, I've really lost the fabric that I started with. Not that it matters. But I was thinking, well, I've got some more. I think I quite like it with that big expanse of the cream on the top. So I'll do that. Here's a bit here. I love the way these things just keep growing, I don't have a plan, but it just starts making itself, really. But here's this little bit. Now, if I put it on the corner, where the spine is, it could reach both sides. I could see a bit of it on both sides. So I'm thinking something like that. Now, as we discovered in the last episode, because this linen here won't fray so easily on the edge because it has that embroidered design on it, I'll just use my scissors and make it nice and neat that way. And just cut those edges off. Once I've got it the size and shape I want it, I'll place it back down there. And I think we'll nearly be ready for some stitch. I'll just pop a pin in it and hold it there for the moment. Now a little bit about placement. Can you see I've chosen some things that balance each other? I've got this apricot-y peachy colour, and it balances and makes this other one because it's got a nice creamy background, but it's got that peachy colour on the flowers. And it really brings that out. And I balanced it as well because I've got that little new patch in. So I think we're ready. So we can get rid of the book now. I know what I want to do. And I'm just going to start with sewing some of these edges down. Now, can you see those blocks that we've popped on there? I just want a running stitch. And I'll work on doing that, I think. We've already chosen some colours that we wanted. I'm just going to start, I think, with some of this one. It's a stranded cotton. I'll use 2 2 strands, which I'll separate out now, and thread my needle, and we'll get started. So I'm going to start on this bottom edge. I'm going to come up from underneath. I've done a knot already, and I'm just going to do the simplest of stitches, the good old running stitch. It's used a lot in slow stitch. This single stitch can be so many things. But what I'm doing is I'm just going to go in from that frayed edge and try and keep it straight, but I'm not very good at stitching straight, so I'm not going to let it worry me. I'm just going to go up there all the way to the top, and then I'm going to turn around and come back again. Not exactly on the same place, but you know, over a little bit. I quite like doing double and triple lines sometimes. It's part of the embellishment, the stitches. It's not just to hold these things down. The stitches themselves are part of the design. Now I like to go until I've finished a strand, you know, a thread. So I went down there and then I went across on that green there, because that still wasn't attached. And then when I'm finished with the thread, I'm just going to do a couple of stitches on top of each other, and then that will knot it off. I'll trim the thread and I'm ready to go with another. But I'll be meandering around this, and I will be making sure that the whole idea is to get all of those patches down. See, I'm grabbing this nice color now, and it's that color there basically, isn't it? And I need to go around these squares and rectangles, and so I'm just going to start somewhere where it's most useful. And here's these edges. See, here I had done a nice little grassy kind of stitch. It doesn't need to be just a running stitch. It could be different stitches. So here we go, a nice close look for you. See how the stitches aren't that neat? And see how I started to go a little bit crooked there. So I accentuated it, and I've made it curve right over and out the top. So don't let anything worry you like that. Don't aim for perfection. See, that's going to look good. And now I'm planning to go down there. And you can see I've actually done it now. And I go around, and whichever bits I need to do, you know, I just let it flow, really. See, there's those lovely grassy stitches. That was quite nice. They're just the same one stitch, but in different directions. And you can see which bits I haven't done yet. So when I'm sort of stitching one, I'll be trying to lead to another. Always trying to finish off a thread and lead it somewhere else. But look at that, how it led off to the side there because I was crooked, and then I accentuated it as if to mean I did it on purpose. And it matches in with that background. Can you see the background has those lines like that, like branches? So I think this is really coming along. And I think that in the next episode we'll finish it. We'll make it into that book cover. And we'll do a little bit more embroidery on it now that everything's just been attached. And we'll make it pretty. I hope you've enjoyed watching this come alive, this little project. This video, I know I'm battling with light a lot. I don't really have very good equipment, so I have set up a donation page if anyone wants to help out there. And but I think we're doing okay, and I'm glad you're watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.